Welcome to Toffee TV. I am joined by Sarah Halpin to discuss Everton's transfer window so far. There's 6 days to go. A lot of people are getting very, very edgy. Rightly so, I suppose, because we haven't addressed everything. But how do you see it's gone so far?
Do you know what, actually? I think getting Digne in the other day kind of made me feel a lot better about things. We signed now 2 players in quite quick succession, and all of a sudden now that left-hand side looks really good. I was having the conversation earlier in the week with somebody about how last season we had a very poor right-back playing at left-back, and then we had a mixed match of Dominic Calvert-Lewin at times, Balassi, even Rooney, Sigurdsson down the left-hand side. So it was just a terrible part of the pitch for Everton last season, and now all of a sudden we've got Richarlison, who we know what he's capable of, and so far what we've seen of him, he looks every bit like the player he did at the start of last season for Watford. Digne's come in now as well as Baines's replacement going forward, and I think wasn't quite good enough to overthrow Alba at Barcelona, but who was going to be really? I'll take that. I think I'm excited about what he's going to bring. Because I think Baines, fantastic servant, still got stuff to offer Everton, but he hasn't got the legs anymore, has he, with the age? So I'm pleased with that. And the thing that's obviously the huge concern is the centre halves, getting those in. But I keep calming myself down over that because I think it's such an urgent thing that it will be addressed. That they are going to bring in some centre backs, or at least one. I've got every faith that they will, because they can't not. So I think now we get that position addressed, and you start to feel a lot better. Ashley Williams going as well, delighted with that. We're starting to see the outgoings as well, which are equally as important as the incomings because of the size of the squad and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe a bit frustrating. Probably would have liked to have seen 4 at this point, 4 or 5, but it's going to take time. But the ones that we have brought in, pleased with. It's just now getting those centre backs in for me, and then we can start to look forward more.
This summer was always going to be difficult because obviously there's been so many changes at the club, at the board level, and I feel as though Silver and Brands, as much as the homework they did do before they come into the club, everything's different when it's in front of you. So there'll be players that they looked at and thought, nah, don't fancy him. There might be the odd one of them who they've gone, you know what, he's actually alright, he could do me a job if we can't get this replacement. There might have been players they've looked at and gone, he'll be, I can sort him, and after a couple of weeks have gone, actually no, he's got to go out the door. So they had all that, and I think it's right that they're assessing everybody thoroughly, because the problem I think Everton have had, or a lot of clubs have, it's not just Everton, when you change managers so frequently, a new manager will come in and buy players, then you change your manager and a new one will come in and go, well, you don't do what I need you to do, so they'll buy a raft of players, and all of a sudden you just got mishmash everywhere. And this was something we never had to worry about for 11 years under David Moyes, because he started somewhere and he had an idea in his mind where he was going, ultimately Man United, where he wanted to go, but he had an idea where the team was going, hence why the team was able to perform to a very consistent level, albeit for a few seasons. So I think this summer their biggest job is making sure they assess everyone thoroughly, but what I feel is really important is that everybody acknowledges and understands that this isn't just to be ready for Wolves, this is the start of his reign. So it's bigger than the first game of the season.
Of course.
It's about going forward. They've identified the left hand side. We've just got a new left hand side, like you've talked about. Both Digne's come from Barcelona, he's played for some big clubs, great pedigree, quick, seen little bits of him training, one where Walcott's ahead of him and he somehow outpaces him, so it means he's not slow. Got a nice left foot and stuff, likes to attack. We've got Richarlison, who we've seen probably the best and the worst of last season. The first few months were fantastic. When Silva went, he tailed off, but he's come out and said he played constantly for 18 months. He was knackered. So the left hand side, like you rightly said, is a lot better. I think the right hand side, Theo only came in January, don't forget Seamus was coming back from injury, so those two, okay, Walcott hasn't had a full pre-season, obviously he's been injured, but he'll be fit, he's a fit kid anyway, and Seamus has looked good going forward defensively needs a little bit of work, but he is an attacking fullback. That's what his main
That's his
thing
strength,
is.
isn't it?
Him. So I think both flanks now we look quite well versed. So like you say, it's all about the assessment for me, and we've seen Wayne Rooney, Davy Klaassen, Funes Mori, Ashley Williams, Kevin Morales will go today. There's 5 big, decent earners, but 5 big players, I suppose. 5 players who, well, I take Klaassen out, but 4 players who were involved to a point last season. Obviously Morales for the first half of the season, and then went out. So, you know, big earners off the wage bill.
Yeah.
Obviously we've seen Joel Robles go as well, so that's 6 out the squad. We've seen Anthony Robinson sign a new 3-year deal today, and he's gone on loan to Wigan, which I think is a fantastic move
Definitely.
for him. So, you know, looks like Matty Pennington may follow him to Wigan. Leeds want him as well. So that'll be another one out the door in terms of development. So I think that side of it, they're cutting the squad accordingly, which is what they said they would do. You know, we found out that Williams wasn't going to be involved, and Morales, and Nikola Vlasic, and Kuka Martina. What are your thoughts on Nikola Vlasic, first and foremost?
I was a bit surprised by that one, to be honest, when it come out that he'd been told to train away from the first team. I think every other player that you've listed there wouldn't be so surprised about at all. I think we expected them to be moving on, but Vlasic, it's an interesting one because he's almost like another kind of Lookman in a lot of ways. We haven't seen enough of him. When he's come in, times he's really impressed and looked like there's a real talent there and potential. Other times he's come in and been pretty poor. But I wanted to see more of him consistently, being given consistent game time. It's now looking like he's probably gonna be off as well. So whether that's going to be a loan move, whether he's someone who's going to stay and be loaned out, but maybe it's just that now with Richarlison coming in, still don't know what's going to happen with Lookman either. It might just be that they've decided, look, actually, you're not going to be part of our plans going forward. But yeah, I was more surprised to see his name in that list of players. What
do you think? Sell him or loan him?
I'd like to see him loaned out because I do think there's a good player in there. I mean, you know, some of his like link-up play and stuff like that. And he's such a young lad as well. We haven't seen enough of him. But again, is it like I know it's a different position, but is it like a Davy Klaassen where, you know, we can't keep saying, you know, because we don't see what happens in training either, do we? And this is the thing. He last season particularly, he'd come in like little spells and he'd probably play pretty well, and then we wouldn't see him again for ages. And you got to think, well, then what's going on in training? And maybe that was the same issue with Davy Klaassen as well. You know, enough managers oversaw him to kind of think, actually, we don't fancy you. But I'd be happy to see him go out on loan, see how he does, and, you know, potentially come back to the club, because it's that old thing again, isn't it, of not wanting someone to leave and then see them blossom into this fantastic young talent across Europe, and that'd just be so Everton of late years. So yeah, for me it'd be, you know, if anything, I'd rather see him be loaned out than actually sold. So I
think you're right. We could get him to a Premier League club on loan, we promoted one or something. I think that'd be ideal. So going forward, 6 days to go. Centre back, you've already mentioned. Totally agree with you. I think the centre back, I think it will get sorted anyway, but it obviously is a massive area and very, very important, especially, you know, Williams gone as well. But I think for me, it's a centre midfield player. I think, you know, we've been linked with Reece Oxford today from West Ham, who's a young lad, which is great, getting young talented players, but I feel as though we need someone with a little bit more experience. I mean, Moussa Dembele has been mentioned. Spurs apparently ready to let him go. He would be perfect for me. He would. For now. It might only be a short term thing and he might demand big wages, probably would. But I think for the next 2 seasons he could be fantastic for Everton while we try and develop someone else for it.
Definitely, and you know, the players you've just listed there as well that we've got rid of now, the wages they were carrying certainly weren't justified wages for what they offered us. But if it means getting a Dembele in, as you said, who for the next season or two is going to make that difference between us kind of finishing, you know, 4 or 5 league positions difference, because it could be that important, you know, then I think just get them in, because as you said, I'm all for us bringing in these young players and watching them develop, and I think that's going to be something that we'll see a lot of with Brams coming in. But for now, we kind of just need to get a starter in, someone that you can go, right, they're in the starting 11 and they're gonna do a job. They've got Premier League experience. We know what we're gonna get from them, and that could be, you know, like I said, the difference between us maybe finishing 10th or 6th, or, you know, I mean, it's early days. I have no idea what kind of position Everton are going to finish in next season. It's too soon to say, but yeah, I agree with you. I think a central midfielder is important as well, because we don't have that fluidity. We still don't seem to have a midfield in a lot of ways, and we've sort of down that left hand side now as well. Relatively happy with our options going forward in that kind of front 3-4, but it's this central midfielder who's gonna make things happen. You know, we've never really replaced the Ross Barkley. You know, we had
to carry the ball.
That's it. And you know, we were earlier in the window, we were being linked with like Ruben Loftus-Cheek and people like that, who I thought that would be a perfect, you know, piece to the jigsaw. But yeah, it's a position that does need addressing, and as you say, it'd be nice to get someone in there that we know we can all rely upon and is going to go straight into that starting 11. Whether or not it'll happen, who knows, because the time is ticking down, isn't it?
It's ticking down. How many more do you think we'll get in then?
I think 2. I think we'll get another 2.
Yeah.
I think we probably need 3 or 4.
We need 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I can see 2. I'm going to say 3.
Yeah,
I'm going to say 3. I'd love 4. But I'm going to say 3.
4. If you could say we're going to get 4 players in now, I think you'd look at that and go, look who we've got rid of, look who we've brought in. That's been a really good window. Yeah, 2, but as I said before, you know, the centre half problem, I'm always nervous, because until it's done, you know, we say until we see them playing in that blue shirt on the pitch, then you're going to be nervous. But I think it's been that apparent, especially in the previous 2 pre-season friendlies, that it has to be addressed. You know, we can't go into the season now without sorting that and bringing in a centre back, and I've got faith that they will do that, especially now Williams has gone as well. So well,
it's not like they're not being linked with central defenders, is it? So you know that stuff is going on.
Of course,
you just got to get it over the line.
It's just the sagas now as well. Like, I'm getting increasingly bored of this Mina thing. I think, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If this lad is kind of holding out for a move to Manchester United, or a team that's playing in the Champions League, then I hope, and you know, the way that Everton have done the business in this window has impressed me in some ways. Yes, the time aspect has been frustrating, but you know, Richarlison, that nothing was being said about that. Then all of a sudden, there's the rumours, and it's done. Digne, it was all about Tierney a few weeks ago and stuff, and then we've gone out and got him. He's come out and said that you know, we approached him 2 months ago. Even the outgoings as well, like Davy Klaassen, bang, that was done. So I think there's probably a lot of work going on that we're not sure about, and I hope there is, because as I say, the Mina thing now and stuff, I'd rather see someone like Lascelles come in personally. I
suppose it's getting them, isn't it? I mean, you know, for all we know, Mina's saying to Everton, I want to come, but Barcelona. The story today, one of the stories out, is that his uncle's saying, you know, they need to sit down with Everton, Barcelona, and sort it out, because he wants to go. He's agreed the deal, and so it could be the clubs. You know, people might turn around and go, "We'll just pay it." Well, I heard something that he was quoted at 16 million before the World Cup. So all of a sudden he's 40 million. Yeah. So you've got to look at value as well. Yeah. And that one might rumble on. And his agent's playing a blind. They're saying United want him and everyone else wants him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lascelles would be fantastic, but I think you're talking upwards of 40 million for him.
Again, and this is the thing, isn't it? You know, you will get fans saying, just pay it, and to an extent, you know, I agree with that to an extent, but you don't want to be bent over a barrel and you know, 40 million for someone who was 16 million before scoring a couple of goals in the World Cup, as you said. Exactly. Newcastle with Mike Ashley and then things like that, they're going to be... so yeah, and this is how we got into a lot of the mess in the first place as well, isn't it? Last season, just get him. Pay him 120 grand a week. It doesn't matter if he's not going to play. Just get him in, and that's something that Brands, when he came in, addressed and said, we need to get a lot of these wages off the books. We need to sort out the financial side. And you had fans saying, we're going to be penny pinching and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, as much as I hate the term, it is a business, and we can't just keep pissing money up the wall all the time. And so we've got to get him in. But yeah, we don't want to be completely taking the piss out of at the same time.
No, you've got to listen. There's two ways of looking at it as fans, and it is, you do just go, you know what, just pay it. Because I wanted Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, and then you stop and you go, but hang on a sec, the whole thing we're all moaning about was these players on these wages and these transfer fees and everything. So there's got to be, Brands has come in and his remit is to get us almost self-sufficient, almost. You'd always need that little bit of wiggle room from a benefactor to go, from like some Sherry to go ahead, yeah, I'll back it, there's no problem. But you've got to also be self-sustainable, and that's what we should all want as fans. We should all want us to be a little bit more prudent, but we still have to get the players in. And the other thing as well, why some of these deals will take ages is, why would these players want to join Everton? Me and Ped have done this on another video. Why would these players want to join Everton?
Yeah.
So if you're at Barcelona, you're Mina, you've just scored 3 goals in the World Cup, your stock is relatively high, and you've got an agent saying, well, you know what, Man United want you, and I can get you to move to Chelsea or whatever. Everton are there and they've offered you what you want, but he's going to be going, well, try and get you there first, what I mean?
Of course. And that makes sense as well, this is a lad who's playing from Barcelona, from Colombia. He's got no, I'm sure he doesn't have like Everton shirts and scarves at home and that, think, get me my dream move to Goodison Park. So yeah, you can understand that, and if he's wanting to, people are still going to look at Manchester United as one of the biggest clubs in world football, they absolutely are, and he's got to be looking at them thinking, there's a chance that they might potentially challenge for the title next season, and trophies and such. So yeah, then he probably is going to be pushing, and not just Mina, other players as well. I think the best way we've got of bringing players in is to lure them in with the kind of project and the Bramley Moore, and this is what we're trying to achieve. We've got the new director of football in, we've got Mashiri, we're a club that's moving in the right direction. Do you want to be a part of this and move with us into Bramley Moore and this new era kind of thing? That's what we've really got to try and lure players in with, get them to buy into what it is that we're trying to achieve, because it's not going to happen overnight. This is something that's going to take years, and
there's got to be evidence of that, you see, because I think it's fine if this was Silver's second year, if this was before we fast forward 12 months time and Everton have finished 7th, they're in Europe, they were 3 points off 6th place and close, and had some decent results. You could say to players, listen, this is what we've done this last 12 months, and with you and with you and with you, we can then go to the next level up. We're in Europe, we've got this is happening behind the scenes, this is happening, there's more. Players will look and go, you know what, I'll get on board here, because I can see tangible things in front of me. Whereas I think some players at the minute would look and go, well, you're the 3rd manager they've had in 12 months.
Yeah.
And we used to say you're going to be here at Christmas. So you could understand that, which is why, and me and Ped have said this, next week could be bedlam. Not just for Everton, for a lot of players, because a lot of teams are going to get itchy feet.
Yeah.
A lot of players are going to get itchy feet over the next 6 days, because as we kind of get into Sunday and Monday, a few days left, and then that, I know players can go abroad, but they might want to go abroad. English players aren't great at going abroad, or other players might be like, well, no, because you're not going to, I know you're not going to sell me after Thursday, because I'm in your periphery, so you need to get rid of me now, and they'll be trying to force that. I think so. We could see a lot of that, and other people will be going, we need a midfielder and a centre back.
Get them in
by Tuesday. We need them in. So it could all be about to,
and that's when the fees and stuff start getting higher and higher,
and then it's who blinks first with some stuff, isn't it? But quite clearly, we're in a position where we need to strengthen. As far as I'm aware, and as far, and the journalists are saying it, and there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and so We've got to just ride it out, I suppose. It's never going to be quick enough for us as fans, ever.
It's not, and I think when you take into consideration as well the kind of hope and dreams that we've had shattered over the past couple of seasons, well, really from the first Martinez season onwards has been, you know, we've got all our hopes up and we're a club going in the right direction, and then it's fallen over a couple of times, and last season was just so hard as a fan to get through, you know, and I think now we just want to see things start happening, but we've got to be patient. And you know, myself included, I've said from the start, I wasn't keen on Silva at first before he signed necessarily coming in, but once we got him in, totally on board with Brands as well, fully got my back in now, but it is just that nervous thing as a fan. We care so much as well, and you're like, okay, well, when are we going to get, because we can't go into this season with you know, that pairing as, you know, the centre halves. So you start thinking, well, just get him done, get the players in. But I think they will, as you said, that I've got every reason to believe that there is a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and we've kind of seen it with some of the deals that have been done already, outgoings and incomings, and yeah, I've got faith that they will, but it doesn't mean that you're not still going to get nervous. Cause
but you've got to maintain. I think there's a hangover, and that's the problem. There's a hangover from last season.
Definitely.
And I think that's the problem. And what you'd have to do, like you said, it's never going to be quick enough for fans, ever, because you want them all done July the 1st, but people would still, if we bought 8, people were still moaning last year that we didn't buy on deadline day, and we brought 8 players in last year.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we didn't bring a centre forward in, which is what we needed. But even if we'd have bought a centre forward the week before, people would have still moaned we didn't bring anyone in deadline day, because that's what fans are like.
It's
new
Christmas
shiny.
Day, innit?
That's what it is. So we have to keep that in mind. But if you can just use the left hand side as a like a test, they've brought in 2 quality players for that left hand side, and that's what they're trying to do. We could go and buy a centre half today. Is he going to be better? They've got to be better than what we've got. Otherwise, what's the point? Because you may as well just promote Morgan Feeney, or you may as well just keep Matty Pennington and go, well, he's back up, and we've got Holgate, and Jags is still decent, and Michael Keane might be good, he might be terrible, but we'll have a look at him. We don't know until we're playing this. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But they know what they're trying to do, and like you say, the way they've done the business so far, everyone should just be right behind them and going, you know what, we're right behind you. So you'll do what you can, and because they want to make a splash of it.
Yeah, of course.
Marco Silva wants to prove himself.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
Wants to prove himself. So
he's, you know, lost a lot of credibility, didn't he, over the last couple of seasons with what's gone on, and I think he obviously is an extremely talented young manager as well, and as you said, this is his real opportunity to go, right, I'm in the Premier League, got back in now, and I'm going to put my stamp on this, because, you know, we are a huge club in the top flight, and I think this is his biggest job yet, and he's gonna really want to make a success of things. As I've spoken about as well, the Bramley Moore thing, he's going to be dying to be the manager that takes Everton to that new stadium, and yeah, it's just a matter of having patience now, and it's hard.
Oh,
it is, and I can be a big hypocrite as well, because one day, you know, be patient, and then I'm Sky News to everything. Oh, where are these players? And I think that just comes from being a fan and caring so much, and you kind of panic and stuff. But yeah, as we said, the business they've done in terms of the incomings, there's only been 2, but yeah, those are players that are starters, and they're both young. They've got longevity. You can see what they're trying to do. You start to look at the team now. Jordan Pickford, because them Chelsea rumours can get in the bin.
Well, he said himself.
You know what I mean?
He's not interested.
Jordan Pickford, we love you, JP. So you've got like one of the best goalkeepers, young goalkeepers, particularly in the world at the moment. Then we've got that good left hand side now. Cenk Tosun going forward, Walcott, Richarlison, Sigurdsson, you know, Seamus Coleman, Theo Walcott. We've got a really good team of players. It's just about getting those final pieces in place to take us into the season and going forward. But yeah, I think we have got to be patient. And the other thing that's thrown us off, I think, has been the last 2 pre-season games. You know, really not good enough, and it is, you know, they're friendlies, and you can't read too much into them, but I think that defence has been what's really kind of made us go, we need to get this sorted, because the season's only like a week away. But yeah, we'll be all right. And as you said, Baz, you know, it's not just about going to Wolves and making sure we go there and get a win. This is going to take time. This is going to take a few seasons. This is going to take multiple transfer windows. But as long as we can see tangible progress and that the team's going in the right direction, then I think there's every reason to be, as Evertonians, kind of excited and, you know, positive about us going forward. But it's, we want everything now, don't we? We want everything yesterday. I know I certainly do.
We've only got to wait 6 days. Just be patient for 6 more days, and then you can moan on the 10th of August, Friday the 10th of August, if we haven't added any more.
This is it.
Moan your head off.
Michael Keane will be, you know, we'll be showing the replays of him.
Leave Keane alone. Oh my!
I forgot you're his biggest fan.
I'm not.
Sorry, mate.
I'm really not. I just think he gets blamed for everything.
You love him,
Do you know what I mean? I don't actually.
You love him.
Like I said, if we can get better, then I'm all for it. But
absolutely,
he's certainly not our worst. Anyway, listen, you hole in your mouth. That's it. If you haven't big thanks to Sarah. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Only takes a second. If you want more videos, join us on Patreon. Thanks for watching. See you later.